I see St. Louis as the very best place to live and to do business in the entire Midwest. I see it as a place that values great ideas, innovation, and innovative technology.
I think the city of St. Louis is on a roll. I think we're doing very well. We're obviously in a difficult economic time, as other cities are, but I think we're making good progress in the city of St. Louis and are poised to see that continue.
My vision of the city of St. Louis is a progressive city, progressive, across all spectrums when we're taking a look at the cultural diversity and everything of our city. Also a city that prides itself on its historic architecture that we've, the people of the city have done such a great job of restoring and keeping. And a city that's, the first choice for business and the first choice for families to live, work, and play.
I think making those commitments, including the Keener Plaza, Gateway Mall area, and of course the area adjacent to our properties at the old Post Office Square. That's greening of downtown. I think in terms of commitments, those are probably the most significant.
10 years ago, the Downtown Now action plan was adopted for downtown redevelopment. And most of the goals that were set out 10 years ago in that plan have been surpassed in terms of what's been accomplished downtown. The original plan suggested that there ought to be just over $1 billion in new investment in downtown development, and we've had more than $4 billion of investment. It said it would be great if there were 10,000 residents in downtown in 10 years, and today we have almost 12,000.
There's been over $5 billion in new investment. Our neighborhoods are stronger. City government is more effective and efficient. Our downtown has come alive. We have a city now that more and more people are thinking about doing business here or moving here. The population's increased.
I see a city, that's a very progressive city. That's a good city that people want to raise their families in, where we redevelop some of the areas that we need to redevelop across our city. And a city that's really rich in its cultural diversity. We have a lot of Bosnian population moving in now.
I think for the city to be successful for both the short and the long term, it really has to focus on two key areas, and that's neighborhoods and schools. If we don't have people living in the city, then it can't truly reach its full potential.
When we seceded from the county back in the late 1800s, that ended up being a long-term issue for us. And one of the major long-term issues that came with that is the perception of crime.
And I think our police department has really gotten a handle in terms of making the city a safer place to live. The residential component is coming. We need to go more out into the neighborhoods and probably create or reestablish quality living. Clearly, the school system is very important for anyone who wants to relocate a business or themselves into a city like ours. And then, of course, the other component is to then support those other fun activities, if it's keeping sports teams or enriching our cultural institutions. That's essential to a successful major city.
We're in competition with regions, not just municipalities or states, but regions all around the world for jobs, for employers, for bright, talented people who want to locate in a happening place. And whether we recognize it or not, the city of St. Louis, downtown, but also other city neighborhoods and institutions, really forms the image and the perception that people have in the rest of the world about our region as a whole.
I see it as a city that has leaders that are not afraid to take on tough issues. They're not afraid of failure and are not afraid of criticism and doing things that they know is right for the city.
One of the things that I'm really proud of with RBC is we spend time on some of the really key areas that are really critical in the long-term health of the city.
You don't find a first-class city globally that has a third-class or fourth-class transit system. You just don't.
We can't keep living in the past. We have to start thinking about how we can position ourselves, not separately as a city and a county or as a separate municipality, but how we together as a region can position ourselves and compete better globally.
A high-quality public school district, one that is performing at or above every standard set for public education is critical to the city, would be an asset that the city and the region can be proud of, and would be critical for attracting and retaining businesses, residents, and it would also instill a real sense of pride, I think, for the entire community. I think everyone in the St. Louis region wants to know that we have a great public school system in the city of St. Louis.
There's been a lot of people who really didn't understand what reform meant and what it means to the region. I know our mayor has taken a lot of flack for his position on the reform efforts. Even the whole notion of putting an SAB in place was controversial. But I think everyone recognized that it was the right decision, the right move. And as the city starts to improve, or as the public school system starts to improve, the city will improve.
My vision for education generally is very simple. High quality education for every child, regardless of where he or she lives, or what their income level is, or what their ethnicity might be.
As the largest school system in the region, the St. Louis public school system is a logical place to start and focus. What's good for the St. Louis public school system is good for the St. Louis region, and therefore good for St. Louis businesses.
Until we can deliver a good, solid public education, we're going to continue to have problems keeping families in the city of St. Louis.
I do believe that I've seen progress in the St. Louis public schools. I can't speak specifically to individual teachers or in classrooms or even schools for that matter, but I think that I see a more unified group of people working together towards a common goal, which is improving education for children in the city of St. Louis. And I think that's really a major goal.
Whether it's improving the quality of the pool of candidates that become teachers and principals, whether it's aligning our curriculum and our programs to be much more aligned around student achievement, whether it's reducing our budget deficit, which is about $52 million. Whatever it takes for us to do that, that's what my intent is, all focused around student achievement.
Traditional public schools, innovative charter schools, and parochial and other private schools pushing each other for education excellence for a child, and creating an environment where anybody can get a great education in the city of St. Louis.
The RBC was instrumental in identifying St. Louis as what turned out to be the next KIPP location, and we've remained very involved and very supportive in bringing KIPP to a reality here.
KIPP stands for the Knowledge is Power program, and it's focused on helping students who have been historically underserved get to and through college. So at KIPP, that means longer school day. Our kids go to school 7:30 to 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock on Fridays, half days every other Saturday, and 3 weeks during the summer. It also means that we have a higher expectation of parental involvement. We really try to work very closely with our family.
What I've found over the last 5 months is that we have people who are extremely committed to the work. They are not always aligned with what the work needs to be, but they're people who are extremely committed to turning this district around and are focused in doing that. What they need is leadership. What they need is some stability moving forward to ensure that that can occur. That's my role.
Reaccrediting SLPS is important, but to us that's a step along the way.
Well, I hope in the next 5 years that the St. Louis public school system will be the premier school system in the region, and I truly believe that is an attainable goal.
I'm excited about the human capacity and energy level of people who really want to improve this city and this district.
I'd say it's really, since I started Build-A-Bear Workshop, and I realize how important it is to hire talent to help grow your business, that how much we need more talent, and we need to be reaching out and really engaging everyone in the possibility of a future for St. Louis.
For me, as somebody who's recently located to St. Louis, it's been great to be submerged in an environment where not only do people care, but there's a motivation around kind of figuring out what works and making that available to kids and families.
When the educational ocean in St. Louis is deeper, all the schools will float to a higher level, and that's really our objective.
St. Louis as a region cannot be successful without the city of St. Louis being successful. So, like us, we need companies to reinvest in the city of St. Louis.
St. Louis is it is a great place, and we've done a lot of good things, but I think our best days lie ahead.